Is it engulfing or not? No. If it can go further than that, it's not an engulfing candlestick. It has opened the price. What if it forms a shadow and it declines? We've had examples because probably it has pivots above it, or you could have pivots here and that causes a decline, or the next candlesticks could go up to here and then decline. Alright, so let's talk about the GAN technique. Alright. Last session we talked about the GAN technique, but we didn't talk about how you should trade based on them. So firstly, I will draw the GAN and you draw the trend line and connect every single swing high together like this. This is the first one and the second one. So it's like the trend line technique, right? Yes, exactly like that. But you have to connect every single swing high together, everything that you see. Are you talking about the swing highs or swing lows? Both of them. All of them. And you have to draw it in longer time frames. 4-hour time frames or longer. And you have to be very precise because that impacts the future so much. Should we connect the shadows? Excuse me? Should we connect it to the shadows or the bodies? No, just the shadows. This is the ascending GAN, and we also have descending one. You have to draw both of them. The one that you just draw it has collided with two shadows. Now, when you draw it, it automatically adjusts. So, for example, when I connect these two, it's going to collide with the next one as well. So, the next one isn't really needed, but you could draw it. Okay, so about how to trade based on this. If you have paid attention, you see that the price is here and it has broken one of the GAN lines. And I told you that the GAN technique is for long-term trading. So I can put my take profit on upper walls there, and the price can have fluctuations between these walls, or it could go up suddenly. So whenever it breaks these upper walls, you have to exit, and then if it breaks them, you can start buying again. So if it reaches the walls here, it's going to decline up until the lower line. And I told you that the most fluctuation is going to be in these crossovers. We have these crossovers here, and those are the best points. And we also have again technique here that it's in shorter time frames. And if you see it, you are going to understand that the reversal is there. Now that I have drawn this, you can see that the price has reached this wall and then it has retraced. And I think this wall here is going to be broken and the price is going to reach the next wall because we have an uptrend and I can exit in these walls. And if I'm doing long-term trading, I can put my profit above that. You try to use this technique on daily time frame. If you use it on 4-hour time frame, you have many swing highs there and it's not very precise. So when the price goes over this wall, it is giving me an ascending signal. So we've had a wall here and the price has touched this wall and after that it has declined. So if it breaks again, I can start buying for the second time. And I told you that these crossovers here are the best points on the chart. For example, the price is going up right now and the lines that it's going to form in the future are going to build crossovers again. Or for example, it could reach this crossovers here that they are the best points for me to trade. Or in the future, there could be a crossover here and I could sell. It will be the best opportunity to sell or buy. So we don't pay attention in candlesticks or pivots in this technique. No, I told you that in every strategy that you use, you have to mix it with candlesticks. So if I know that my daily candlestick is completed like this, I know that the price is going to be down there. So you have these diamond shapes here. I haven't drawn all of the lines, but you probably have seen it last session that when the price is in a certain diamond shape, it's going to have fluctuations inside that diamond shape. But if you know about candlesticks, you know that if it's going to go continuous movement in the same diamond shape, or is it going to move on to the next diamond shape? So please don't forget about candlesticks. What about pivots? You have to use that too. You see, these trend lines are your pivots. You see, when the price has reached this is your pivot. You see that? This just helps you see your pivots better. These are all tools that can help you and help you locate the pivots. Let's move on to another chart. Okay, so in here, let's draw it in 4-hour time frame because we've had this big wave and we don't have a big wave back there, so I'm going to draw it in the 4-hour time frame so I see more examples. So I'm not going to connect it to here because you have to consider the ones that are after that. And I have one here, one here. This is the center. and also this.
در اینجا
Another one here.
و یک خورده هم
And
در اینجا.
another one there.
البته اینجا رو گرفتم. میتونم
Although
دوباره این
I
محدودیت
can have another one here as well.
اینجا رسم. ببینید قیمت من با بحث کلی اینجا رو زدم به این
So
دیوار
you see the
واکنش
price
نشون
has
داد.
reacted to this
و به
wall
این دیوار
here.
واکنش نشون داد. خب ببینید این
So
همین
these
خطا
lines
همون پیوت ها
represent your
هستن.
pivots.
خب ولی وقتی
But
خطا رو
when
خطوط
you
رو
draw
رد
the
میکنید
lines,
دقیقا پیوت های خورده
it
بازارم
shows
بهتون
you
نشون
even
میده.
the partial
یعنی
pivots,
دقیقا میتونه تک تک
the
پیوت
minor
های
ones that
ریزی
you
هم که
have.
داری اونا رو
You
هم
can
براتون
locate all of them
در بیاره بدون کجا
so
خرید و
that you
فروش
know
انجام بشه.
where to trade. So we're going to know where all the pivots are, right? Yes, all of them. All the major ones and the minor ones. And a lot of these lines represent the weaker and minor pivots. And they're probably going to be broken. But if you look at the past of the market, you see that the price has always retraced on these lines. You've had a kind of a rejection here. The price has been shocked. So when you want to trade, you should look to see if you're at the wall or not. If you are, you can start buying, and when it reaches the upper wall, you can close. But only on the circumstance that you also use the candlestick technique. Excuse me. So if we draw it in 4-hour time frame, should we trade only on 4-hour time frame? No, this is this is for your midterm trading. But GAN is used for long-term trading, not short-term ones. So the order that I open based on this, for example, if the price is at the lower wall and if I open a buy order, that is a long-term trade, not a short-term one. So I don't expect to gain profits right away. I know that I'm going to have to close the deal when it hits the upper wall. Excuse me. So we should put the stop loss below the lower wall. Yes, you should usually do that. But you have to locate your pivots as well. If I put the stop loss here, and if it breaks the lower wall there, it's going to be in this area. And the next candlestick is going to be completed below that, so it's going to be in this area. So you shouldn't put it exactly here. If you do that, even a little shadow could retrace it. So the logical way is to put it in here. You have to put it a little bit far away from the price. And the normal take profit should be there because this is a resistance. The upper wall is a resistance. So if I put my take profit here on the upper wall there, it's for the daily trading. If I put it here, that is for 4-hour time trading. So it could gain me profit in the next 4, 8, or 16 hours. But if I'm trading daily, that is 2 or 3 candlesticks away from profit. Is that clear? Yes, thank you. Let's move on to another chart. You see, for example, in CHF chart, the price is exactly below the pivot, but it has gone too far up. So it's telling me that it's going to have to decline here. So you can do a midterm trade here. When I put my take profit in here, that is not a short-term trade for me. Short-term trading means scalp trading. So I don't expect to gain
آیلان
profits
بالا چرا ترس
immediately after
پیوت
I
باز
open an order
میدونی
because
شما اگر
I'm
دقت
trading
داشته
on
باشید خیلی از معاملات
midterm
من
time
بعد از
frames.
چندین
If you
ساعت
have
روز
paid
شکل میگیره
attention,
اما
a lot
اول
of
که
my
صبح
in a
نره
lot of my
ولی من معامله یا
tradings, I
مدت
gain the
بلند
profit
مدت دارم
after a
ترید
few
میکنم
hours because I
بعد خبر
trade
اینطور
on
ما
midterm time
پرونده هستی که
frames
توی همین
and I
یورو
reach my
بود
targets too.
ما پیو
You see, for
شکل زده
example, in the
بودیم
euro
گفتیم که
dollar
نگران باش
chart,
آقا این پیو 50 رو باید بزنه دقیقا
I
لمس
told you that
شد
it's going
ما
to
دیدیم
reach the
دست من
50
خوب
level,
بودیم
and that exactly
احتمال
happened. And
الان
after that,
تغییر
it
نشه دوباره
declined.
زده میشه ولی پس بعد یا دو سه روز بعد یا هفته آیندهش اینجا زده میشه
So
ولی
it's
خب
definitely
بستگی به
going
لات
to
داره
happen,
دیگه
but it
بازی
totally
رو
depends
رعایت
on your luck
بکنین
too.
تی پی
If
اس
you
ها همیشه
comply with the
خورده
rules
میشه
of that, your take profit
این
always is
معاملات
always
اسکلپ
going to
فرق داره
be
بین معاملات
reached.
اسکلپ
But
معاملات
scalp
کوتاه
trading is
مدت یعنی
different.
اسکلپ دیگه
You see, short-term trading means scalp
یعنی ثانیه
trading.
به ثانیه معامله بگیری بیای
It
بیرون
means that you have to
یعنی
trade
چی الان من میدونم این
every
کندل تو
second.
افزایش هست تا اینجا قیمت
So if
من
I know that
میفرسته
I have an
بالا
ascending
ثانیه
candlestick here, it's
اسکلپ
going
میکنم
to
ولی وقتی
cause
ببین
an
صحبت
upward
از
move,
گن
and I
میکنیم
trade
صحبت از
by that.
فیبوناچی میکنیم
But
صحبت از پیوت روی
in
4 ساعته داریم
GAN
فکر
technique or
میکنیم یعنی
Fibonacci
این
or
معامله نیاز به
4-hour
جهت یعنی معامله بلند
candlesticks, that is
مدت
midterm
توانمند
or
شدنی در
long-term trading.
بگیره
I don't
نباید
expect the
بترسید
profit right away,
به
so I
نظرم
shouldn't be
همهتون
afraid
همه شماها
because
معاملهگر کوتاه
all of
مدت
you
هستین
are
بلند مدتی
short-term
نیستین به خاطر زیاد
traders.
ضرر
That
میکنید
is why you lose a lot of money.
شما خود داری حواست هست اگه کندل سی قرارش من میگم این کندل هم که تموم شد
So I
این
know
کندل
that if
کلیه
candlestick is
بدون شک برای من
completed
ریجکت میشه
here,
به سمت
that is a
پایین
swing high candlestick for me.
بدون شک
So
برای
it's
من میره
going to
ریجکت
cause
میشه
a
به سمت پایین
decline.
من
I know
معامله
that
عمرم
for
رو چند
sure.
روزانه باز کردم
But I have opened the
کل 4
order on the
ساعته من
daily time
مست
frame.
بود یعنی معامله
And
من
my
شب
four I
در
don't
می
see my
درآورد
4-hour time frame anymore. So I'm going to gain profit at night
ببین
tonight.
معامله کوتاه مدت اینجوری دیگه
So
بذار من
that is
براتون
how the
بزنم
short-term trading goes.
یه چارتی باشه که نوسان شدید باشه بذار من سریع
Um,
براتون بزنم
I'm going to do scalp trading for you on a chart that has fluctuations so I can
مثلا همین
do
باشه
it.
هم بهتر
For example, in the
خیلیش
Dow Jones
واضح راحت هم میاد مثلا الان
chart,
ببینید در تایم
I
ربع
can
ساعته مثلا من
do
کشید کنم
scalp
افزایش
trading.
رو
So in the
دارم میام تو
15-minute
اینجا
time frame, I have
اصلا
an
واسه ربع
ascending
ساعته
signal,
یعنی
and based on
شما
the
یک
this
کندل الا دو
15-minute
کندل ربع ساعته
candlestick,
آینده
it
دارم
means
با این
that
تریدتون
you
بازی میکنید
have to
شاید الان
expect the profit
شاید نمیگه یعنی میدونی
in
الانم
two or
یک ولی
three
خب من توقع
in
تا
the
نیم
next
ساعت
two or
آینده
three
باید باشه
15
ولی وقتی میام
minutes.
رو
So
تایم
I have to
5
expect a
دقیقه
profit in at
سیگنال
least
کندل 5
30
دقیقه میده
minutes
احتمالاً
later. But
تایم
if I'm
کندل 5
doing
دقیقه
the
آینده هم
signal,
بیای
getting the
پایین
signals from the
این میشه
five
معامله
minute
کوتاه
time
مدت
frame,
نه اینکه
that
شما
means
میری
that
رو
I'm going
تایم
to
یک
gain the
ساعته نگاه
profits in the
میکنی
next
یک
10
ساعته
minutes.
شروع میکنه
That is the
اوردر
short term
گرفتن
trading.
خب بعد اگر یک ساعته داری ترید
But if
میکنی
you're
بعد توقع
trading
تو
on the
یکی دو
hourly
ساعت
time
آینده
frame,
باشه
you
صورت
should
به خاطر
expect to
همین
gain the
ترس میاد
profit in the
عرضه
next
نمیریم
1 or 2
مرکز میریم
hours.
معاملتون هم با
So
ضرر
that
هم
is why you
میبریم
get stressed out. You don't because you
اون
don't
یه
wait.
اشتباهی به خاطر اینکه
That
شما
is a
داری
mistake that you
اوردر رو
make
فقط باز
because
میکنی
you're
نگاه به این
only
تایمه
opening the
نمیکنی نگاه به
orders.
اون
You don't
داره
pay
فوکوس
attention to
نمیکنی
the
وقتی که
time
داری رو
frame
تایم یک
and the
ساعته
rules
میخری یعنی
that
شما
when
دو ساعت
you're
آینده باید
trading
توقع داشته باشی
hourly, you
روی
have to
اوردر
expect
بعدی وقتی من
the
تایم 5
profit
دقیقه
an
اوردر
hour
باز
later or two
میکنم
hours later. So when
5
I'm
دقیقه 10
trading
دقیقه
on the
آینده توقع
5 minute
دارم قیمت
time
هم بیاد
frame,
بالا
I have to
الان
expect
اومد که اومد اینجا
the
پیوت
profit
اینجا باید خروجیش رو
in the
بزنیم
next
خب
5 or 10 minutes. So in
اصول
here,
رو
I have
رعایت
to
میکنم اینا
exit.
پیوت همو شکست دوباره میتونم پیوت
I'm going to
بعدی
comply
بزنم
with the rules. If this pivot is
باید رو
broken,
پایبند
then I
باشی این
can
معامله
start
کوتاه
trading
مدته
again. So that
من الان
is
مثلا
the
میگم
short
معامله
term
کوتاه مدت
trading.
بشینم پشت چارت
If I'm
حساب تا آخر
online
شب مثلا
on the
50 دقیقه
chart,
باشم میکنم
I could
ولی
gain a
وقتی
lot of
معامله بلند
profits by the end
مدت
of the night.
میزنی
But if you're
توقع باید
doing
باشه مثلا در تایم یک
midterm
ساعته
or
من
long
الان
term
یک ساعته
trading,
مثلا
for
باز
example,
کردم
now
یکی
that
دو
I
ساعت
have
آینده
opened
باید
an
توقع
hourly,
داشته
uh,
باشی نه الان من
I
معامله
have
رو یک
opened
ساعته
an
باز
order
کردم
on
الان
the
معامله
hourly time
فکر
frame,
میکنم
I
من جمع
have to
کنم ولی
gain the
جمع
profit
نمیشه
in the next hour. So in
چرا
here,
باید
I
یک ساعت
haven't
توقع
gained
میذارم
profit
اینجا
here,
باشه
but I'm not
چون
going to
تحلیلم برعکس
close
واسه یک
the
ساعته
deal
کرده
here because I have analyzed the hourly chart. So I'm going to expect the
بزنید اما
profit
ادامه گن رو
in the
ببینم
next hour. Okay, so let's go back to the GAN trading, the GAN technique, excuse me.
ببین در گن شما باید
So
دو
in the
پوله
GAN
چپ و چپ رو
technique,
داشته
you
باشی
have to have the lowest swing
من
low
همین
and
هستم
the
رو تایم
highest
4
swing high
ساعته
there at the top and the bottom of the chart. Let's move on to the 4-hour time frame.
از اینجا میزنم، بالاتر نمیزنم که خیلی زمان بالایی میگیره. از
I'm
این
going to start from here.
دیگه راحت رسمش. ببین گنسی سختی نیست.
Drawing it
کلا گنجش
is
کردم
easy.
براش. من تو کتاب ستاره شناسی هست آقا، اصول خیلی سختی داره.
I know
خیلی
that you
ضرب و
think
فجر میدن،
it's
یه سری اصولات
too difficult
ضرب و فلان و فلان
because
استفاده
that
کنن.
is what the
کلی دیدی
book
داره.
has told you,
شکم
but
دستش.
that is not very
تک تک
hard.
موجایی هم که میزنی تو دیوار
You
خیلی
have
فروش
to
قوی داره.
connect these lines
این
to
الان ببین
every
مسی
swing
کانال
high
رو
that you
نگرفت.
see.
پس دیواره کانال من اینجا مقاومت خودش دقیقش هم بکنم
So
این شکلی.
you see, these channels are my
خب من اینجا دارم
resistances.
دیگه.
I have another one,
اینم دوباره رول
another
بعدیش
swing
عمل
high
میکنه.
here too. Let's draw this as well.
خیلی دقیق از لبش
So you have
آزاد
to
بشه
be
این.
very
ببین
precise.
همین یک ساعته من این معدوده فروشه.
So I have to sell
این
here
معدوده
in
من
this
فروشه. این
area
معدوده چیه؟ همون پیوتی شما هست دیگه.
because
ما
you
از چی
see,
میترسین
this
دیگه؟
represents the
در حال
pivots that
اولش
I
میگم
have.
این فروشتون راحت
Don't be
بگیرید.
afraid.
خب بذارین این رسمش کنم باشم.
Let me draw it accurately.
ببینید کشش مارکتتون رو بلد
If
باشین.
you know your market
جای نگران نداره. خب
elasticity,
ببینید
you,
الان
you won't
این
be
حالت این
worried.
ضربه در
For
فروش
example,
اینجا بود. خب من اینجا
the
بهترین موقعیت رو
crossover that I
خریدم.
have here
خب
was the
من
best
خریدم از دست
opportunity to
دادم دیگه
buy,
اینجا.
but I have lost
خریدم
that
اینجا از دست
opportunity.
دادم. اومده بالا. خب تو دیوار
So
بالا
it
فروشش
has
دیگه.
gone up now. Therefore, I have to sell here.
اینجا بهترین موقعیت فروشه.
That is the
توی
best
همون
opportunity
پیوتیه.
to sell, and it's exactly where the pivots are.
حالا اینجا ببینید یه
So
موقعیت من
here,
اینجا مثلا فروشی زدم، زود زدم. اگه تا اینجا
imagine I
اومدم کشش
have
منفی تو بالا،
sold
من
here.
نباید بترسم.
So if I
میتونم من زود
start to
وارد
lose
شدم.
money, I
من
shouldn't be
میتونستم صبر
worried.
کنم یه قشنگ خودش رو
That
بالا
is because
بزنه.
I should have
بعد بیام اینجا
waited
فروشمو
a
بزنم.
little bit more, but I haven't. But
پس
that's okay.
نباید جای نگرانی داشته باشید
Don't
چون
get stressed
بالاترش
out
پیوتیه.
because above
شما
that you
اومدید
have
اینجا. مثلا که
pivots
من تو همین بالا نگاش کردم
and you have
میتونم
started
مثلا این
trading sooner
کندلستیکش
than
اصلا
you
مهم
shouldn't have,
نمیدونستم. اشکال
that
نداره
you
همینم
should have
بزنم.
had. So that's okay if you lose money a little bit.
الان این محدوده رو من دارم.
So in here I
خب من
have
دارم
these
تو این دیوار
areas.
دو این دیواره دوباره میتونم وارد فروش بشم.
When the price
با اینکه
reaches
یه
this
فروش
wall
پایین
here, I
دارم
can
ولی
start
خودم هم
selling
مرزهای
again.
برگشته. خب نگران نیستم. بیا تا اینجا. اینجا برش میگردون.
So when it
راحت
reaches
روی
here,
دیوارایی. الان این چالوزی رو میبینی؟
I have to start the trading.
دقیقا
Can
این
you
چالوزی.
see this
قیمت
diamond
شما تو
shape
این
here?
چالوزی
The price
فعلا قرار داره.
is
توی دیوار
in
شروع
this
کردید فروش کرد. قرار
in
گرفته
this
این
diamond
دیواره. توی
shape
دیوار
here
شروع
right
کنید
now.
خرید تا
So when
دیوار
it
این بالا.
reaches this wall, you have to
دوباره
start buying until the
خانم
next
شریفی
wall.
صدای ما رو
Miss
نمیتونه
Sharifi,
صحبت کنین پیام
if you
بذارین من
can't
میتونم جواباتون رو بدم.
unmute yourself, that's okay. You can type in the chat
خب
box.
این از این.
So that's that. So we expect it to go up and then we
ریستارت
should
کنم.
exit again.
آره
Yes,
میتونه. آره دیگه من توی این میتونم
exactly.
مثلا 10 بار خرید و فروش
I
بکنم.
can trade so many times based on this.
خب توی این میتونم 10 بار خرید کنم. ببین دارم میگم ایرادهای شما اینه که
I told you
معاملهگر
that your
کوتاه مدتی
mistake
این
is
اصولش
that
رو
you're
رعایت
short-term
نمیکنید.
traders, but you
معامله
don't
کوتاه
comply with
مدت
its
یعنی
rules.
اسکلپ یعنی چی؟
Short-term
دلیلش چیه؟
trading means
پیوت.
scalp trading, and in scalp
یعنی
trading you
دقیقا
have
این
to
که این
comply
پیوت
with the rules
برگشته.
of
ببینید
candlesticks and pivot. You see, it has exactly returned
چیز غیر
on
از
the
عقل
pivots
که
here.
نیست. این دقیقا فیکس تو پیوت گودی داره برگشته.
You've had a swing
خب
low
من
pivot
نمیتونم
here, and it
فروش
has
بدم. ببین
retraced
نباید
exactly
بترسید.
when it has
شما
reached that. So don't
تحلیلگرید
get
وقتی حساب
stressed out. You're
تحلیلگر
an you're
گذاشتی
an
یعنی میدونی.
analyzer.
وقتی میدونی
You're
از
an
چی نباید
analyzer,
بترسی.
so that means that you
آقا این
know the
پیوت. من
market. If
گفتم
you
این
know the
پیوته.
market,
وقتی
you
شما
shouldn't
دیدی
be
برخورد
afraid.
باهاش
So I told you
ریزش
that this
خوبه.
is a pivot,
وقتی
and it
ریزش
means that
قیمتی
when the
چرا
price reaches
بترسید؟
it,
این
it's
فکر
going to
کنم که
decline.
او
So don't
نزنه
be
فلان
afraid.
نکنه
Don't
یهو
get
نرفته
stressed out.
منفی. ببخشید برای چه اومدید توی باز؟ توی باز باید ریسک پذیر باشی.
In the
این کلا تو
market, you
بیزینس
have to
های
take the
مالی
risks.
شما اگه ریسک پذیر نباشید
In
به هیچ عنوان
business, you
موفق نمیشید.
have to be
پس
ready to
اینجاها
take the
پایه
risk,
بند باشه قوانین.
unless you won't be successful. So comply with the rules.
بعدی مثلا ببین این موردم بزنم.
So let me draw the
یکی اینجا دارم.
GAN technique on this one too.
این الان احتمال ریجکت باشه.
So there's a
ببین
possibility
اینجا
of a
شما اگه خط
rejection
قرمز
here.
آردی رو
if this was your normal trend line, you would have seen that your trend line has been broken here, so it's going to decline up until here, but you don't pay attention that you have another line here and a resistance there. So this is the one that has stopped it. So I mean that if you only use one technique, you're definitely going to make mistakes. Because if you didn't know about the GAN technique or the pivots, you would have probably drawn your trend line here, and you would have seen that it was broken, so you would have interpreted that you have to sell, but then it would start to go up, and that would have been a mistake. That was because you should have had drawn the GAN technique here. So let's move on to the hourly time frame. This is an hourly candlestick that is probably going to reach here. So you can exit on your hourly time frame. But on the circumstances that you pay attention to your market watch, 15 minutes later, the hourly candlestick is going to be completed. So when you're trading on that time frame, you have to expect the profit an hour later or 2 hours later. It could it could go up now or an hour later. So don't be afraid if it doesn't go up now. So that's that about the GAN technique. Any questions or problems with the GAN technique? I'm going to draw it on another chart so you can see. For example, in here. You see that? It had declined up until here and then it had returned again. And now that I'm drawing this, I want to show you this. You see that? They're in the same channel. You have an upper wall and a lower wall. The reason it has retraced here is because of the pivot. So you should consider both the upper and the lower wall and also this area in your tradings. Let me continue drawing it. It is retracing on every single collision. Alright, so take a look at this. In this chart, the price is having fluctuation in this channel. So you have the lower wall here, and you have a crossover here. Close to this crossover here. Excuse me. What about the pivots that we have there? You mean here? No, the other one. This one? Yes. Yes, that is why the market is stuck between there. That is because of the pivots. You have to... If it goes further than this crossover, you can start buying. And then you have to exit at that pivot there, in this area. That is where you should exit. But it's just like the Fibonacci when the shadow just goes over then the level and you think that it has gone past it, but then it retraces again. That is why the pivot wasn't able to be broken. That is what had stopped it. So it's the same as that. Don't be afraid. If you get a sell order here, that's okay. If it goes further than that, the next one is going to stop it. But you expect to gain profits immediately. That is wrong. Let me show you another example here to show you where you should exit. You should exit exactly at this area. So I'm going to exit here. You see? So when the price reaches here again, we're going to have another decline. So just watch. You shouldn't be afraid. I'm doing this on the real version of the market. That is why, you see, it's wrong, but it's okay. I'm distracting myself, but that's okay because I want you to see that if I comply with the rules, I'm going to gain profits. There are rules on the market and they always perform. There's nothing outside of those rules. So don't be afraid. You see, the price is stuck here and it declined because you've had pivots there, but I exited before that. So if I have another pivot here too, but it has gone further than that. Any questions? No, thank you. We can do scalp trading now. Miss Sharifi has asked me to draw the Gann lines on the gold chart. We have a swing high at the top and a swing low at the bottom. I'm going to connect these swing highs together. I can connect these ones too, but it would be too distant. Is that because they're too old? Yes, that is the reason. So we can connect them to both the ones that are at the bottom and the ones that are at the top. Yes, you can connect it to every single swing high that you see. And in longer time frames, you have to connect it to every single fractal that you see. I'm telling you this again. The Gann technique is only for the longer time frames. For example, on the daily trades, yes. So I'm going to start drawing it from the bottom. I have connected it to here. Okay, so you see, it has fluctuations here and it has decline. In this area, all right. I have drawn it partially.
پایین 400. الان میگم
Okay,
قیمت توی دیوار پایین نیست.
so the price
یه
is
مقاومت دیگه.
on the
خرید.
lower wall there, so that
ارزش
means
فروشی
a
اونجا بذاریم تو
resistance.
دیواره بالا.
I'm going to put my strike profit on the upper wall
حد
there
ضرر تو کجا میذاری تو این
and
دیوار؟
the
این
stop loss
جاها
in
میذاری.
this area.
کجا پیوت دارم؟ اینجا
Where do I
پیوت
have
دارم
pivots?
دیگه.
In
پیوت
here,
رو
right?
اینجا شکسته میشه
And
پایین.
they're going to be
ببینم
broken.
تا قیمت تا این لبه اومده. اینجا فروش. اینجا ببینید.
And let me delete this.
قیمت من تا اینجا اومده
So the
برگشت. یعنی
price
این
has
کسایی
reached here and then it has retraced
دیواره
exactly
خط
at the tip of
VFX
the
کشم
pivots.
بکنم میشه همین. حالا
So
فیلترش
even if
بکنم
I adjust it, it's exactly this.
میشه همین. پس این دیواره پایین به من خرید میده. توی دیوارم فرود.
So I have to start
به من
buying
نمیگن
at the
دیوار فرود.
bottom wall there and exit
نخرید.
here. So don't be afraid.
جاش هم خوبه. که گودیه درم هست.
You have a swing low pivot here
کوچیکی
too.
درم هست. جاش خوبه برای خرید.
And it's a good opportunity to buy.
خب این طلا.
So
سوال
that's
بعدی.
gold. Any other questions? And can we do scalp tradings
سوال
again?
ندارم بعدش بریم سراغ اسکیل.
Okay, we can do that. Let's see if we have any more questions. So if the candlestick is completed like that, it's giving us an ascending signal, right? Yes, exactly.
خواهش میکنم.
You're welcome.
اسکلپ.
Now
میخوای
let's do
اوردر
scalp.
بگیریم؟
Do you want to take orders? No, not orders. Just please you start trading so we can see. Have we had a swing high candlesticks, a reversal candlestick in our hourly time frame? It wasn't the reversal candlestick, but it performed because it was inside the pivot. You see, the lower shadow is longer, but it only performed because it was inside the trend line. And it was descending too because of the trend line, but I wasn't paying attention and I started buying. And I didn't even see the trend line. And I put my stop loss here. So you see we've had pivots there and the candlestick is completed inside the pivot. That is an engulfing candlestick. So I can start a buy order and put my stop loss below that because if it uh, opens from here, it's a continuation candlestick. You see this is called a 50-50 candlestick. So you have to take the risk. Because we had pivots here, it's an engulfing candlestick, but if it goes further than that, it's continuation candlestick. You have to exit at this pivot, which is here. I have another question. You see, it went further than the pivot. Please go on. When we have a downtrend, we see we're going to pay attention to the pivots that are downward. When we have an uptrend, do you mean? Yes. So when we have an uptrend, we pay attention to the pivots that are downward. Downward fractals. So what are the single pivots in here? This area. Oh, and reverse V shapes and V shapes, right? Yes. Now that it's going up, this is my pivot. This is an ascending candlestick here.
بهترین افت تو پیوتم. یک
And
کندل
now
افزایش
it's
قیمت
exactly
گرفتیم و
on my
دیدم
pivots.
پیوت داریم.
This is an
بعد قرار باشه
ascending
اینجا باز بشه بره یک کندل
candlestick, and we exactly have pivots there
این
too.
کندل چون افزایش تموم
So
شده
because it
سیگنال
was completed as an
قیمت
ascending
رسید پیوت
candlestick,
اینجا
it
داریم
is
یه پیوت
giving
هم
me
اینجا داریم یه پیوت هم اینجا داریم یه دونه هم
an
اینجا داریم.
ascending signal, and we have the
چون که
pivots that are
پیوت
here.
نبوده ادامه دهنده.
It's
آره
continuation because
ادامه
it was
دهنده
not
ادامه
completed
دهندش
in a
هم میخواد
pivot,
چیز
right? Yes,
محدودتر باشه
exactly.
یعنی
And it's going to
قیمتش
continue
هم
with the
باعث
movement up
من
until
وقتی
here.
میخوام اسکلپ بزنم اسپرد
When
هم
I'm
نگاه میکنم
doing scalp trading, I
ببینم
have
چند
to pay
میشه.
attention to the spread.
برجمو زدم چون میخورد تو پیوت. یک کندل
So it was going to reach
ادامه
the pivot
دهنده شد
there.
قیمتش
This
هم
is a
باز کنه کندل هم
continuation
میخواد بالا
candlestick. The
بره من
price
اینجا
has been
نمیام چون
opened here
پیوت
and it's going
دارم
to go up.
دنبال
But
کردنش هم
because I have pivots here, I'm not
فعلا
going to
نمیام
start trading. I'm going
بعدی
to wait to
خودش
see if it's going to
ریسک
go
نداره
over
کثیف
this area or not. So it would be risky if I trade here.
اینجا مثلا اوردر فروش میشه.
I'm probably going to take a sell order in this area, but I'm going to wait.
تا این محدودات جا داره این
It is
محدودات
going
جا
to
داره
reach
واسه چیز من تا اینجا هم درست
this
فروش میشه
area,
پیوت داره
and I can't sell up until here. And we've had pivots up there
میگم
too.
من چون پیوت داشته رفتی به فروش دیگه.
آره دیگه
So
پیوت
you
داشته
you
فروش
have
نداشته
started selling here because you've had pivots there, right? Yes, exactly.
ریزش هم داره میزنه
And it's
بعد
declining
بیفته
now.
بالا یا هم فروشانی تا اینجا میزنه دوباره
It's
باز
going
رفت
to engulf the candlestick that is
این
here.
باید چیز باشه
Yeah,
دیگه
that
زنگ
happened.
باشه
You
این با
see,
یه
you have
افزایشی تا
to
اینجا بهت میده
predict the market. It's going to continue the upward movement up until there.
این تا اینجا بیاد یه بایی
If it
میکنه
reaches
و
here,
فروشانش رو
I can
تموم
start
میکنه
buying when it
اسپرد هم
completes
یه
the
خورده الان بالا
engulfing process because my spread is low a little bit right now.
نه فرق نمیکنه فقط بسته به همون کندل استیک
It
دیگه
depends
همه
on
چیزش
the
کندل استیکه
candlesticks. Everything depends on your
فرق نداره
candlesticks.
فقط کندل استیک دارم میگم من چون
I'm
زیاد
telling
کار
this based on the
کردم
candlesticks because I
کندل
have been
مستاک
on the
خیلی
market
تو
for
ذهنم
too
حالا
long.
ریزش میکنم
I've memorized all of the candlesticks. I
اینجا اگه
analyze
بگم
them
یه
in my
خورده
mind too
داره
quickly.
درسته.
اسپردم خیلی واید الان اصلا اسکلپ کار کردن اشتباهه جا
So a spread is too wide right now. It's
اینجا
wrong
با
to
این
scalp
لول
trade.
گوده داره درسته.
We have a
نه من بایم
swing
میخوام
low
اینجا باز بشه بالا
pivot there.
انداخت
That is why we
خب
have started buying,
اینجا
right?
چون
No,
پیوتی داشتم
because
بهت
I have a
زدم
pivot
میدونی
here,
احتمال اوردر باید
I
با
have
ضررم
started
ببندم
buying there.
خیلی فاصله است
But
باشه
because it's too far
چون
away,
میگفت پیوت
I'm
گوده
going to
داره
lose here.
درسته.
So
گودی
isn't this
نداره
a
کجا
swing
گودی
low
داره
pivot
اینجا
there? Where do you mean?
یکی اینجا یکی
I have
اینجا
another. I have a swing low
آها
pivot
پایین
here and
تره.
another one there.
آره
پایین تره.
Oh, so it's
آره
lower than that. Yes.
یه تا اینجا باید کنی یکی اینجا یکی اینجا
So it's
میگم
going
وایده
to
اون وایده اصلا
reach this.
اسکلپ کار کردن
But
اشتباهیه
my spread is too
مثلا
wide
اینجا
right
اینم
now.
میاد این اولش بهش
It's a
رسیده بود
mistake to do scalp trading.
گودی داره اولش
Let's
با
see if it reaches this or not. The first pivot has
بعدیش
caused a shock there. And the next one is there.
خب این خودش یه تغییر روند تولید کرد خب
So
یعنی
we have a
احتمال
reversal
زیاد نداره که
candlestick, but it's not
پیوتش
reliable because the pivot was there.
احتمال داریم
آره
این کنده تا اینجا بیاد بعد برگرده
And probably
یا
this
خب میشه
candlestick is
بگیم
going to reach this and then retrace.
ببینیم
We
5
can
دقیقه چی تموم میکنه
trade based
از
on that.
5
Just
دقیقه هستیم
let's see what
هم میشه
our
ترید کرد
5 minute candlestick is going to tell
این
us.
هم اسکلپ
We're at the end of the candlestick almost.
کندلستیک خیلی راحت میشه بگیریش همون کندلستیک پیوت دیگه حالا تو ذهنت این
Scalp
چرا
trading
قرار
is
ریزش میکنه همین
all about candlesticks and pivots. You have to analyze them in your head.
اونم نزدیکه.
That's
این
true.
بخاطر فعل میشه دیگه این
It's
پیوت
going
سی
to be
میتری تا
faded
اینجا
out
میاد
because
برمیگرده این
the
کندل
pivot is
نباید
right
بشه
there.
دیگه
So it's going to
یا
retrace
باید
at that
بخواد
point.
بفرستش
You
بالا
shouldn't be
خب از
deceived
لحاظ
by
من
it.
میگم اعتبار نداره چون که پیوتش
It's
اینجا کشیده
unreliable
یک و
because the
دو
pivot is
این
right
بالا
there
هم
and
بعدش
it has
باید
reached
بره
this one.
باید لعنتی نمیشه بزن
It's too wide. The spread is too wide. We can't
یا
trade
درد مثلا
now.
این الان این موقع درد $12 میتونی
You
بگیری
can only gain $10 or $12 of profit. I'm waiting to see what my 5-minute candlestick is going to be like. It is going to be completed now.
نمیشه باشو.
So it's giving me a very good buy signal. It's great. But oh, I made a mistake and I started selling. So this is a very good buy signal. I will put my stop loss here. And this one is giving me a descending signal.
قله شد دیگه.
So it formed a swing high candlestick, right? Yes, exactly. So it's probably going to reach here
نمیشه گفت
and then
break even
decline.
توی شکم
Can we say that it was inside the previous candlestick? No, it wasn't because it's the two sides of it are empty. When we say it was completed inside its previous candlestick, that when it was completed inside its previous one, it has to be next to it. In the 15-minute candlestick, we have an ascending signal, and it's more reliable than that one. But it's going to decline up until here and then go up after that. In the hourly and 30-minute time frame, I can get another signal from them. This is an engulfing candlestick. So in the 15-minute time frame, this is engulfing, and in 30-minute, because it has produced a swing high candlestick, so it's going to send the price up based on the 15-minute candlestick. So up until the next pivot, I can't trade. Yes, I exactly put my take profit on the next pivot. So when we trade on the 15-minute time frame, we should expect the profit at least 30 minutes later. Yes. It is reliable up until 2 candles later, because the third one usually gives us the opposite signal. The gold chart is suspicious because the shadow is the same height as the body. And we had put the stop loss based on the trend line there. It's a little bit suspicious. In the Euro chart and hourly time frame, we have an ascending signal. And whenever a candlestick is completed, it's going to engulf 1 to 2/3 of the previous one in this area and then go up from there. Mr. Idris, please go on. Well, this swing high candlestick, when it's completed, is it going to be engulfing? Yes, it is possible. But don't worry, after that it's going to go up. Excuse me. Any more questions? The ones that we were talking about, yes, there's a possibility of an engulfment, about 1 or 2/3 of the previous ones. So don't worry. If the candlestick is reliable and you get a good signal from that, you're going to gain the profit. So I'm going to put my take profit on this swing low pivot here, which is in this area, like that. But if it declines up until here, you shouldn't be worried.
ربع ساعتش الان ربع ساعت جدید تموم میشه
So the new
که ببینیم سیگنال چی
15-minute
ایجاد میکنه.
candlestick is going to be completed. Let's see what signal it gives us.
در 5 دقیقه احتمال کلی تولید میکنه.
We're probably going to have a
حالا
swing high
بذاریم بعد
candlesticks in our
دیگه
5-minute
برای که
time frame.
چند ثانیه دیگه کندل 5 دقیقه ایجاد میشه.
Because in a few seconds it's going to be
سیگنال
completed.
افزایش دو سیگنال افزایش
And it's
سالم.
going to give us an ascending signal.
افزایشش تا کجا؟ یه
And
تیکه
it's going
پیوتی
to
که
go
داریم
up
پیوت افزایش
until
داده.
this pivot
حالا
that you
چون
have
حوزه
here and you have
افزایشش
another one there.
بزرگتره
And because it's
معمولا داریم
reliable,
مسیر
it's
احتمال زیاد کافی
probably going to reach this area.
خب سوالی اشکالی داریم؟
So any questions?
نه ممنون مرسی.
No, thank you.
ویدیو ضبط شده شده.
Are you
آره
going to
ویدیو رو ضبط
record the
کردم
video?
میذاریم الان بچه
Yes, and I'm
صحبت
going to
میکنن دوباره
send
سر
you the
صحبت بعد
video
میذارم.
tonight.
این مورد گنتونم که تموم شد.
Also, I've talked about GAN today.
خب، اینم از این.
So that's that.
جلسه آیندهتون
Your next session will be.
روزی جلسه آینده که تماما دیگه میشه حالت اسکلپینگ، یعنی آموزش گنتون رو من دادم. یه آموزش
You're done
خفیف
with the
تر
GAN
امروزی
technique.
داریم که
We're
اونو
probably
بدم
going to talk
کلا
about
میشه معامله.
another trend line technique, and that will
خب
be it.
اگه سوالی جان
درس
Excuse
تموم
me.
میشه میشه معامله.
میریم
Our
سراغ
lessons will be
معاملات. حالا
over,
تو
right?
معاملات
Yes,
دنبال
and we're
چیزی
going to
بعدم دیگه
start
قطعا
trading.
ببینیم، چون تو
And
معاملات
if I
جزء
remember anything else,
مباحث
I will
اصلی
tell you because a lot of the
موضوع
times I'm going
ترید
to
لاین.
remember things when I'm trading.
یا الان ببینیم به این پیوت
So you
واکنش
see,
میکنه.
it has reacted to this pivot,
برای این پیوت واکنش نشون میده.
exactly to this one.
که پیوت بعدیش اینجا میشه.
And so the next pivot is
بعد
right
میکنم
there.
دیگه.
Is it
این
going to
پیوت
get
بعدی
over
همین
that?
پیوت درست
It's
از
probably
پیوت
going to
بعدیش
go
بعدی
over
میشه.
that.
بعد.
اینجا دوباره پیوت داریم
And you
دوباره
have
خروج
other
میکنه.
pivots here, you can exit at those points.
خب سوال اشکالی نیست؟
Okay, so any problems or
نه ممنون.
questions? No,
خواهش
thank you.
خانم شریفی
Miss
سوالی
Sharifi,
اشکالی
what about
نداریم؟
you?
خواهش کنم. من ویدیو
You're
رو شب
welcome.
بهتر تو سایت
I will
قرار
upload
میدیم
the
دیگه.
video on the
بذارید جلسه
website
بعدی
tonight
بود این جلسه
from the last session and
تو
this
سایت ایران که
session.
میتونید نگاه کنید.
You can watch that.
خسته نباشم همگی.
Everyone have a good day.
مرسی استاد
Thank
خسته
you.
نباشید.
قربانتون
Thank
خدا
you.
نگهدار.
Bye.
خدا نگهدار.
خانم شریفی خدا
Miss
نگهدار.
Sharifi, goodbye.